fine with like physical robots, like especially in the military, that people have funerals for their bomb disposal robots, real psychological issues when they break down, particularly in stressful environments. Because the thing about robots is so unique, especially like physical things, especially when they move. When you're around them, it does feel like they're animals, kind of like pets. So when you have your robot dog moving around, because your brain, we're not used to seeing just physical robots moving around us. You kind of, again, like classification, you go back to just the label of it's just dog. Like something inside your brain goes, this is just like my pet. And if you spend a lot of time with it, it's only natural that you sort of anthropomorphize. And this is when you treat basically an object like a living thing. And you start to project that it's feeling, I'm going to take my robot dog for a walk, or he's feeling sad, he or she giving it a name. And then it leads to like unhealthy attachment issues. And one of the issues we're going to face actually in society is that like we probably, like I think it's clear, we're living in like a loneliness epidemic, especially post-COVID. There have been reports of people treating like Alexa like their actual friend or someone they can confide in, all that sort of stuff. I see a lot of people nodding like, yeah, I do that all the time. But it's going to be interesting because when you have physical robots that are there, like these could be considered companions. But if I'm like a robot supplier and I know I'm going to make a robot dog that targets specific people that are vulnerable to loneliness or whatever, and then I give it to them for free, then they're attached to their robot dog, then I go from now on, that's £2,000 a month. If you're looking at your actual real pets, people would spend a lot of money just to keep spending time with them. And that's when you think about just the future of just well-being in people.
I think it's true though. It's like with Boston Dynamics, there was a video where they were like kicking the shit out of it, trying to knock it over.
Yeah.
It's just like a moving robot and you're just like, well, you can't do that.
It just makes you uncomfortable because there's even in the military where they had some bomb disposal robots, where there's a story where someone just said it was inhumane what they were doing to it because they're blowing off each of its legs. And you just said, I can't just watch this anymore. Because they just look like animals and you don't really make that disconnection between like, it's just a piece of technology and this is like a living thing. But one of the ethical dilemmas that we haven't really figured out yet is that should we be encouraging people just to view it as technology? Because if you have like a child that grows up knowing that it's okay to kick my robot dog and just abuse it, will that child then think I can abuse people, I can abuse real pets? And even now with kids growing up with Alexa, just swearing at Alexa, yelling at Alexa.
What are we teaching them with that? It's like,
I think it was Charlie Brooker, the creator of Black Mirror, said you're training your cruelty muscles. Basically, if you're not careful with this. As a society, as a species, we just haven't done this before. We've predicted it in like science fiction and stuff how it would go. I know we often went down the Terminator route saying this is how it ends up. But just being attached to your robot dog or treating it the same like an actual pet dog is something that we don't really see as much of. And to be honest, I don't really know how it's going to impact us. I don't think anyone really knows at this stage.